Hey guys, thank you for clicking this video. Today's video we are going to be talking about my special interests, and we're going to go over how my special interests have changed from when I was a child up until now. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, then definitely stick around. If you're new to my channel, my name is Brittany, but you can call me Bree, and I make content related to my autism, my late autism diagnosis. Alright, so let's get into the video. So, what were my special interests as a child? Well, I would say that I had one special interest as a child, and that was reading. Reading, and more reading. And when I tell you that there is not no exaggeration in anything that I'm about to say, there is no exaggeration. Wherever you saw me, I had a book in my hand. I could not sleep because I was reading a book. I would even stay up until the next day, knowing that I had school. I'd be hearing the bus is ready to come, and I'd be under my little cover with my little flashlight reading my book. Okay, if I ran out of books to read, I would read the encyclopedia or the dictionary. At the cafeteria, I was reading. Walking to my next class, I was reading. At home, I was reading. Even in the tub, I was reading. I always had a book, and I won a lot of awards at school for reading. Like, I exceeded all goals probably 10 times the amount. And if you know me personally, definitely comment and let them know that I am not exaggerating, because reading was definitely a special interest of mine. And now when I look back, I definitely think like nobody thought this was weird. Like, all I did was read. I didn't socialize. I didn't go outside. I didn't do anything but read. And I know that there's such a positive thing, when you see a child reading, but I was definitely on the obsessive side of reading. And so I definitely think that was like a little thing that should have been like ding, 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 ding to somebody. What's going on with her, and why is she obsessed with books like this? Okay, so then I would say when I was about 12, I discovered writing. And then writing became my special interest. I still read books, but then I also started to write, not stories, but poems. I would write poems. One of my poems actually placed in a poetry contest. That was really kind of exciting because it was actually one of the first poems that I ever wrote, and it was titled "Tears I Cry," and it was a really pretty, sad poem, and that poem actually did raise some concerns. My grandmother asked me, was I okay because I wrote that poem? And of course I assured her that I was, because I didn't feel safe to share my feelings. But I definitely was struggling when I wrote that poem. I'm gonna try to find that poem and maybe I can share it with you guys. Okay, but so after writing, I would say reading and writing pretty stuck with me pretty much all the way up until adulthood. So like, I would still read and still write. So now I write more than I read. I still love to read, but it's not something that just like stays on my mind. I more so write versus reading. I don't know. I still like reading, but it's just that I don't take the time out to read unless I'm like searching for facts, because that's also another special interest of mine, is collecting facts. So, and maybe that's connected with reading. But I guess I still read because I collect facts. Like, I am the Google queen. Like, it can be like 3 o'clock in the morning, and then I have this thought, like something medical, and I'm gonna just research it until I can't research it anymore. And so, even my friend, she'll text me something like a question. Well, how much medicine can I take? And can I take Tylenol and ibuprofen together? Or it may be something, a random question like medical wise. But she'll ask me because 9 times out of 10, I'm going to know how to answer that question. And if I don't, and then that's another thing for me to research. So, yeah. So reading, writing, collecting facts. And then when I discovered makeup, oh my gosh, when I discovered makeup, that literally became a special interest. It was so hard for me to go in the store without buying makeup. And then there was like this short period of time where I actually called myself a makeup artist. And I think I did pretty well. But, you know, because of my social anxiety, it was kind of hard to connect with my clients. But yeah, so it was makeup. And then now I would say this is like my last special interest that I'm going to mention in this video, and that is photography. And I actually ended up getting into photography on a whim. My husband has always actually wanted to be a photographer, but you know, he put it off for so long. And then he told me, you know, how he got, when we got together, he told me how he had always wanted to be a photographer or whatever. So I was like, okay, so let's just get some equipment. You know, I have a creative mind. You can do the photography and I can be your assistant. And so he was like, yeah. Okay, so we ordered the camera, the backdrops, the lights. And we get the camera, and he's getting so annoyed that the pictures are not coming out how he wants. They're blurry. He's having a hard time figuring out the camera, the ISO, any aperture. And so he just gets frustrated and he just leaves it alone. So now we have a room full of photography equipment, an expensive camera. I'm like, no. We're not going to waste any money. You know, we're going to get this, we're going to put this to use. So I started to learn the camera. And when I started to learn the camera, like, you guys know how it is when you're like hyper focused on something. I started to hyper focus. I would fall asleep watching photography videos. And so then my friend came over and I'm like, can I take pictures of you? Because at first I was just taking pictures of like trees and things around the house. And she's like, yeah. And so I took pictures of her and they actually came out pretty decent. And so that was where my love really came, when I took a picture of a person. And then I booked my first photography job like after only a month, and it came out so good. And then I started creating like my own concepts and styling, you know, some of my clients and some of the models, and I just fell in love. And it's literally like a mesh between all things that I like to do, because I like to thrift. Oh my gosh, that's another special interest. That's another special interest, is thrifting. I feel like I'm all over the place, but hopefully you guys like this video. This will show more of my personality because I'm talking about things that I like. Okay, so thrifting is another special interest. And so with the photography, I'm able to thrift because I'm buying things that I would like to try on someone, or that I would like to photograph. And so it combines the two. And when I tell you, yeah, all this is from the thrift store. Now, typically, you know, I would thrift for myself before I got into photography. But and a lot of times I would see cute things, but because of my size, you know, I wouldn't be able to fit it, and so I would leave it there. But now that I'm a photographer and I actually style the models that I work with, I don't have to leave it there anymore. So it comes home with me. And look, this is only a small portion. I have a shed filled with clothes, and the back of our truck is filled with props and clothes. And it drives my husband crazy, but he knows how much it makes me happy. So he goes along with it. And he'll take me thrifting, and definitely if he sees that I'm like kind of like having my fat effect, which nothing's wrong with me, I'm just kind of like flat, but he'll think that that's something wrong with me, and then he'll be like, well, let's go thrifting. And of course that's gonna get me out of my flat effect. It works every time, and so he'll take me thrifting. So yeah, thrifting. So what I mentioned, photography, thrifting, that all kind of ties together, because it's like both of the things that I like to do. And then also fashion. I would definitely say that fashion is one of my special interests. And it's kind of weird because I struggled with fashion as a child just because of a traumatic experience that I had growing up. But it's weird that I'm so into fashion. I feel like I have I don't know, a unique sense of fashion. Yeah. So those are like the main core things that I do pretty much every day. I'm going to do something along those lines every day or every other day or something like that. Then there's like the smaller things, like things that come and go, like my interest in ants, my interest in tarantulas. I love science. Oh, okay, so science is another special interest. Okay, I'm gonna end this video because this is too much. But one of my subscribers actually gave me this video idea, so thank you so much for giving me this video idea. I'll put her channel or tag her in the comments somewhere. But yeah, that's the end of the video, you guys. If you watched this far, then thank you for watching this video. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, then definitely subscribe to my channel and hit that bell so you're notified each time I post a video. And if you enjoy this video, then give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment. Come home, come home. Even though the world is burning, just come home.